double flex right there. Yep, showing off to the crowd.
And a monster game from Al Horford, who had 23 points, 11 rebounds. Celtics get the win, 117-113. Score's a little closer than it needed to be. Eddie House, Tom Giles with you here for the next hour. And Eddie, I'll start with you. What was the biggest difference between the second half and really the third quarter and that opening stretch of the fourth quarter? Because the Celtics just looked like a totally different team. The pace was completely different.
I think we got stops. Number one, defensively, we tried to keep them out the paint. We got the rebound, kept them to one and done, and we pushed the pace. And then we were able to get downhill, get the shots that we wanted to get, and we knocked them down. We had five players in double figures, 5 starters, in double figures. That's always great. And then you look at the way that we moved the basketball and shared that thing. I mean, that was the difference. It was controlling the paint, making sure we controlled the paint. We made sure that we kept them to one and done. We wasn't giving them second chance opportunities like we did in the first half, and that's the reason why we got the win.
Yeah, and, Jayson Tatum also having 41 points, a monster night from Tatum.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, they shot the three extremely well, and no one shot the three ball better than Al Horford on this night, and he's standing by with Abby Chin.
Al, it got a little hairy there at the end, but you guys took control of this game in the third quarter. What keyed that?
Yeah, we came out really aggressive, making sound plays, and that set the momentum for the rest of the game. There at the end, we let our foot off the gas. We just need to be better closing games out.
What kind of rhythm are you in shooting the ball right now?
I think that, when we make the right plays and we're moving it like that, it opens the floor up for everybody. And the guys are looking for me, and I'm stepping up and taking them.
Defensively, you guys were able to limit their second chance points after that first quarter. How were you able to win back the battle on the board?
I feel like Rob did a really good job getting those rebounds, setting the tone in the paint, and all of us, we collectively were doing a good job of coming in and making sure that we held them to one shot. They're a really good team that rebounds the ball pretty well offensively.
Finally, it was a playoff-like atmosphere in here tonight. Are you in playoff mode? Does that start now?
We definitely want to be playing at a high level, and yes, the Garden was pretty fun to be here tonight. The energy was great, and the intensity that we needed to win this game was playoff-like because that team's been playing really well.
You ever gotten a bounce like that?
Huh?
You ever gotten a bounce like that? The three?
Oh,
the drop?
Yeah, for sure. But I was glad I got it tonight, though.
Al, thank you. Congrats.
Thanks.
So again, Al Horford, 23 points, 11 rebounds. Eddie House right now at the bottom of the screen. What you see there is we want to know who you think at home should win tonight's Tommy Award. All you got to do is scan the QR code with your phone or go to NBCSportsBoston.com/vote. You got Jayson Tatum, Al Horford, Robert Williams, and Marcus Smart. Or you can vote for someone else if you want to as well. But those are your nominations. Of course, Scal will be giving that out with Perk coming up later in the show. But getting back to it, Eddie, and it was just, you watched that first half, and it felt like kind of a grind. Like there was never a run. Neither team was able to get away from the other. And then he got to the third quarter, and Jayson Tatum starts to take over, and the Celtics start to put some distance between themselves and the Cavs.
Yeah, and it all started with getting stops, and Al alluded to it. He said we kept them to one shot, we got the rebound, and we got out. And then you look at what they did offensively by sharing the basketball. That's why you see all 5 starters were in double figures. They had 27 assists on 39 field goals. That means the ball is hopping. And I think we've been saying this. I've been saying this. Anybody that follows the Celtics and understands when they're at their best, it's when they are moving the basketball and they have opportunities to create for themselves or for others, and they have a high number of assists. So I think that's what happened in that third quarter. They moved the ball. See right there, he could have got it and just went up with it, found his guy in the corner, knocked it down. Being aggressive, trying to attack the paint, to me, that was the key of this game, was who was ever going to win the battle of the paint was going to win this game.
Yeah, the Celtics stuck to the boards as well. I mean, Cleveland got some offensive rebounds late. But for most of that second half, the Celtics did a nice job of controlling the boards, which you stressed at the onset, and, trying to find a way to control the paint as well. How'd you feel they did about controlling the paint?
Well, early on, I thought we were getting beat off the dribble. We weren't guarding our yard, and we were allowing guys to break our defense down. I thought in the second half, especially in the third quarter, moving forward, deep in the second half, guys took that individual challenge. and didn't just give up straight line drives and giving easy opportunities at the basket. And that's what this team has to do. Remember, we were one of the best defensive teams last year, right? We got the same guys coming back. We're finally getting healthy. Don't deviate from what was successful. And what was successful was being one of the best defensive teams, right? And everything else falls into place. One thing always leads to the other. You play great defense and have the right mentality, playing with effort, getting deflections, being on the string defensively. It seems like no matter what, when you do that, you start seeing the basket opens up, shots start getting easier, you get fast break points, you get wide open threes, you get clear lanes to the basket. That's just the way the game of basketball works.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're seeing, by the way, at the bottom of the screen, as you go ahead and you vote, every time you vote, you got a player's face just going right across the screen there with you, Eddie House. Who's your take? Who do you like for the Tommy Award tonight, by the way?
I gotta go with Al Horford, man. I mean, he knocked down his shots, but it wasn't only that. He had 11 rebounds out there, and stepping up and doing what he needs to do. He knocked down his shots, 6 of 8 from 3, but the 11 rebounds and just being out there, being that veteran presence that he had. I think Rob Williams is right there knocking on the door because of his activity. And we all know Jayson Tatum could damn near get it every night, right, if we wanted to do it that way. But I got Al Horford. Yeah,
so you talked about Jayson Tatum and the fact that he could get it almost every single night, the Tommy Award. And we're going to have that coming up with Scal and Perk. But Scal, Perk, I want to get to you. What did you think of the second half and how this game just really changed in the third quarter? The pace, all of it just looked completely different.
Well, I think anybody that took the 4.5 for the point spread with the Celtics walked out of the arena pissed off tonight.
No, I'll tell you what, Eddie, we just tuned into the show. Has Tom Giles been shook? Like, is he like stuttering and stuff? Because the thing is that he took the Celtics with a 4.5, and right now he is on tilt. So how's he been, Eddie? Eddie, he been good?
He's been cool. He had a poker face on, because if he has took that 4.5 and he should be shook, he been holding it together. I can't tell if he did or not. Most of the time he lets me know where he. Okay. The face that he has lets me know that he did. Look at his face, though.
He 100% took the Celtics, and he called his girl, he texted her, did her on me, and right now he is shook.
Chris.
Oh. I know with 2 minutes and 15 seconds, he was like, yeah.
He's good. Go ahead, Perk.
Hosting the show.
We're going to talk about Jayson Tatum.
He was phenomenal, right? Showed up and showed out on why he should be in the MVP conversation. I'm talking about from start to finish, he was dominating inside, attacking the paint, and then it went to the outside. But he also, the growth of making guys around him better. When I'm seeing him making those passes on time, on target, it just goes to show you what type of mind frame he's in. And then on the defensive side of things, I watch him buckle down and take pride in guarding Donovan Mitchell. And I know he had a 40-piece, but still in all, it wasn't on Jayson Tatum.
Here's what I like. The Cavs are a physical team. They were being physical with him on the perimeter. He played through contact, and he didn't really complain today. I thought that set the tone early. Love the tip dunk. Love it when he gets a couple easy baskets. But look at all these buckets. He's going right through guys, going right to that rim against a Cav defensive team that's really good. So shout out to Tatum for playing tough, physical, and there's that defense Perk was talking about.
I think Tatum listened to what everybody was saying, right? The last game, like, they took too many threes. They were settling. He came out with a mindset that I'm not settling for nothing. I don't care if I'm on the defensive end. I'm not just going to give anybody anything. I'm going to be playing hard defense. Then on the flip side of that, offensively, he was just in attack mode. He was getting downhill. He was getting downhill all night, and he was taking what the defense was giving him, right? When he had the shot, he took the shot. When he knew he could get to the rim, he was like, I'm getting there and I'm finishing. Then on the offensive, on the side where he had that tip dunk, like, no, I'm not just going to linger around the 3-point line and watch somebody shoot the ball. No, I'm going in there and get a rebound. So I love the attack mode that he had and the mentality he had from the start of the game.
I want to talk about the starting five as well, because much has been made about the fact that they haven't gotten a chance to play too many minutes together, and maybe the numbers haven't really been there yet. But tonight, the numbers were fantastic for the starting five, all in double figures, all pluses across the board there. What'd you think of the way they played as a unit?
I thought the loss to the Knicks got them right. And I think the noise out there that they're not playing the right way, they're not sharing the ball, they're not playing tough defense, not starting the game, not starting the third is all getting to them. But today, I think they addressed all those issues.
I mean, this starting five went to the finals playing together. Like, no one should be worried. And we saw the big-to-big pass, and we saw the communicating on the defensive end. You know, and obviously, can they get better? Yes, they're going to continue to get better. That's why the last couple of games, you know, this last stretch is going to be key for them. But it's going to come through repetition, and it's going to come through availability when we talk about Robert Williams and how they're going to manage the old Al Horford.
Yeah, just to add something to that really quick. Robert Williams does not look like he's lingered at all by the knee. He looks in great shape, multiple efforts, and same with Al Horford. Not that Al Horford got hurt this year, but both those guys look like they're in playoff form.
Yeah, they look like the best two bigs on the floor tonight, going up against two bigs that everyone wanted to talk about before the game, in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
Hey,
those two guys
no,
brought
the best two bigs on the floor tonight was Scal and Perk, period.
They were. I got to get back out to Scal now to talk about the way this thing finished up. It's our DraftKings Sportsbook segment here. And Scal, if I'm not mistaken, just listening to the end of that game, I don't think I was the only one who had Celtics minus 4.5 as we saw that three go in for Darius Garland. Yeah,
you heard it.
So it's a new world out there, man. It's a new world. There were people in the Garden that were with me.
It was like a collective oof. Like you could hear it. You could feel it. It was across the board. No doubt about it. A lot of people had Celtics 4.5, no doubt.
I will say, I took the trouble. They're up by 20. I'm like, hey, Scal said they might win by 12. Let's go ahead and look up the alternate line. I was going through all that. Meanwhile, here are the Cavs going on this crazy run. Let's talk about your same game parlay. Al Horford, man. He lived up to it. He got those out, knocked him out of the way right away. He knocked down a couple threes for you right away, obviously, and then had 6 for the ball game. And then the Celtics really relying on their starters, so really not as much asked of Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Al was great, and it's just like the ball didn't move. Those guys didn't get that many open three opportunities today. It wasn't one of those things like in the Knicks game, they got a bunch of open shots that they missed. I just think the Cavs today, they were like, all right, we're going to make Tatum finish over Allen. We're going to make him finish over Mobley. And he did. And those guys, he delivered. Al Horford was one guy they were leaving open, but they were not coming off the guards all night long. So we got the Al Horford one right, but couldn't get the Brogdon or the Derek White one.
It also feels like anytime Donovan Mitchell's in the Garden, maybe we should just be looking at his over, because that guy loves playing at the Garden, man.
Man, and he fell, he goes down. It's almost like a non-contact. Not saying it, I think he maybe got tripped up a little bit, but man, since he returned, he was dominant all across the board and getting his bag and the fun finishes where he's going over the top and Euro stepping. It was entertaining from his standpoint. And the idea, the whole gambling thing, and you watch what happened at the end of that game and Darius Garland going nuts and the Celtics, not being aggressive, so the Cavs are sort of scrambling around, getting turnovers. Very interesting into this game.
I needed a foul call there. Would have loved another foul call there on Jayson Tatum trying to get the ball over.
I could tell by your face, man. I knew you had the action.
Soon enough, DraftKings Sportsbook, Boston's hometown sportsbook, will be live right here in Massachusetts. Sign up now. New customers will receive up to $200 in bonus bets on launch day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BANNERS when you sign up. All right, let's send it back out to the Garden now, where Abby Chin is standing by with head coach Joe Mazzulla.
Joe, what changed in the second half that you guys were able to build enough cushion?
I just thought we did a good job on the defensive end. Mitchell had some tough shots, but we were shifted well. We generated some turnovers. And on the offensive end, we made the right play, and they weren't able to get out in transition, and they had to make it a half-court game.
Does the 44 points from Donovan Mitchell bother you?
No. He's a great player. There's definitely times, where we have to make adjustments, but in a situation like that, as long as they're twos and we're not fouling and it's not in transition, we're in good shape. But the way we finished the game bothered me. And I know it's hard to do, but we just have to be better.
Jayson Tatum, back to his MVP form. Major adjustments by you?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's different about him tonight?
Nothing. It's just the course of the season. Things happen. There's ebbs and flows. Him and our team do a great job of not overreacting when things aren't going our way, and we just stay the course.
And then 32 3 attempts, is that enough?
No.
I didn't think so. Joe, thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.